we saw in North Queensland in the Burdekin where some Indigenous elders, even when it comes to Welcome to Country, are saying, look, we are not going to persist with this because it's just become an embarrassment for everybody. Here's Indigenous elder from the Burdekin, Randall Ross.
The elders said, no, enough is enough. We have to stop, because it is well and truly being abused. And this is where people do not understand that by mistreating and abusing culture, there's cultural ramifications itself.
I've got to give credit to Randall Ross. I reckon he's read the room after the referendum last year and he knows which way the wind is blowing, as does Peter Dutton, and we'll get to it in the papers a little later. He's made a decision about the Indigenous flag and how he will regard that. And so there's a definite shift coming in the culture, and so it's interesting to see the change.
The thing is that what he's talking about there is, I guess, these kind of, woke corporates or people who are trying to be so right on, who are overwhelmingly as white as the driven snow. And they're basically so obsessed with the tokenism of having a welcome to country that they're basically doing it wrong. So what he's talking about is saying that you've got so many people who are having so many welcomes to country at so many different events and getting often the wrong people to do it, people who aren't actually traditional owners, aren't the acknowledged elders of the area, that they're just completely trashing it. And so again, you get to this thing where if you have this endless kind of tsunami of virtue signalling, which is what we saw and sadly part of what sunk the voice, you actually devalue the importance of it. So you can have, for example, like in Arnhem Land is an incredibly important site, incredibly important Aboriginal community, but you have these sort of ridiculous people wanting to sort of queue up to show how right on they are and how much they care about Aboriginal culture. And they're actually killing and devaluing Aboriginal culture so much and clearly don't understand it because they're getting the wrong people to do it, that this guy who's the right person says, well, we're just not going to have it anymore because you've just... It's like sort of taking a ham sandwich to a three Michelin hat restaurant.
And respect for Indigenous people will not be diminished one jot by not having a...
No, that's right. I mean, I keep thinking the point, like, I remember, and again, Big W is one of my favourite shops. I'm going to go to the toy sale. They've got some amazing bargains and I'm going to hit that like it's... hit that like the buffet.
They are grateful
princess.
For your plug.
But, I would go there sort of hanging out before the show or whatever, and you'd hear on repeat a recorded message saying Big W would like to acknowledge the Indigenous inhabitants of the country. It's like, I'm in Macquarie Park Shopping Centre, right, listening to a recording saying how much they care.
Yeah.
Like, that is the most ridiculous... Like, it'd be like saying if someone's relative died and you just sent them an automated message, I am so sorry to hear of the loss of your insert name here. I mean, it blew my mind. And this was happening throughout the Voice campaign. And this was when I realised, planes doing it when they would land. And you could just see the look on people and everyone's just like, no one's saying anything. And you can actually see their thoughts. They're just going, I am so sick of this shit.
Yeah, there's obviously a change coming, that's for sure.